Got a chance? Nearly. So today's video is going to be really simple. I have for you two things I want you to think about when you're chipping around the green. And I want to start with where I see golfers go wrong. I often see on a short shot like this, I want to fly the ball around 4 or 5 yards. I see golfers with their arms very bent and the club very high in the finish position, as if they're trying to elevate the ball, trying to add some loft perhaps and get the ball airborne, and we really don't need to. Actually, for those golfers, I tend to ask them to feel like they hit and stop. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm decelerating, it means I'm accelerating and decelerating. So we need to be able to slow down and stop in the finish position. And it's really important because it allows my arms to extend. On this shot here, through impact, I want my arms to reach full extension. I don't want them to be folded, because you can see the effect that's going to have with the club. It's going to be bringing it up in the air. A lot of golfers on these short shots, they're worried about either two things, aren't they? Fat shots hitting the ground first, or thin. Now, normally they're from the same bad technique. They're normally the same reason why you're hitting them. So I want you to focus on the arms being stretched and the follow through being short. And there's only one thing I want you to focus on. Because if and I'm going to demonstrate a bad one here, if I stretch my arms and stop short, but I keep my body down, i.e. I don't allow rotation. Now that kind of worked actually, because I did use the bounce, but I caught it a little heavy and I definitely caught the ground before the ball. And if that ground started getting softer, wetter, then that could cause some heavy shots. So I've got to allow, and this is the second part, rotation. So as long as my body is turning. So I want you to think about two things: turn the chest and extend the arms. That extension is going to mean I stop nice and short. So let's focus on a good one, and then we'll talk about how we can adapt it. Turn the chest, extend the arms. Okay, it really is that simple. I've turned my chest, my rotation here, if that's 0 degrees where they were pointing at setup on a nice short shot, my torso has rotated by about 45 degrees. The longer the shot, the more my torso is going to rotate. Is there hit rotation, you're probably asking? Absolutely. But the driving force on such a small shot is really what my upper body is doing. I'm not locking my lower half, I'm just allowing it to rotate as well. But it won't have rotated quite as much as the upper body. So, turn the chest and extend the arms, and that means we're going to have this short finish position rather than golfers who are trying to get this, I sort of made that work, but this high, long finish position, almost like they're hitting up too much. Now, can we adapt it? Absolutely. If we wanted a little bit more height to stop that ball just a touch quicker, I'd play exactly the same method. I would just open the club face a little before I grip it. To know how much and how high that's going to hit it, that is where the practice time comes in. But it could just be at home in the garden. It doesn't have to be on a practice area. You're just going to be observing the trajectory, you know, how high the ball flies. So I've opened the face a little bit before I've gripped it. I'd also say if we're looking for height, I wouldn't try and push the handle too far forwards. I get a lot of golfers where they're trying to drive the handle forwards, and that actually ends up meaning they normally tilt away from the target. So rather than rotating and finishing tall, they end up tilting away from the target, and they really struggle with contact from there. Can be heavy, can be thin. So we're not driving the handle forwards. On this one, I'm going to open that face a little bit. My hands are quite neutral with the golf club, and I'm just going to focus on rotate and stretch. Rotate and stretch the arms. Okay, it wasn't a perfect strike, but my chest is rotated, I'm nice and tall, my arms are stretched and the club's nice and low. And what you'll have observed there was a little bit more up. The more I open the face, the higher it's going to go. It's going to have very little effect on the direction for such a short shot. You could aim your body a little left to compensate for the fact the club face is aiming effectively to the right, but look and see how much difference it makes first, because I've got that club face open by 20 degrees and the ball's still going pretty much down my target line. okay? Oh, it's run on a little bit more than I was expecting. Probably flew it a touch too far, but loads of height. Again, chest rotated, arms extended, and this can work to quite a few different distances. So if I was trying to hit to a further target, a further flag, let's say I'm flying it just over the ridge, I've still got a very similar method. And even if in the backswing my elbow starts to fold because of the backswing length, on these short shots I still want to reach full extension just past impact. So even if there is some fold here of the elbow, I've still got full extension and a nice short finish position, and I've flown that one probably more like 15 yards towards that back flag. Lots of height, very shallow with the strike. So let's just finish with one final shot. I'll go that top flag again. So just focusing on those two key points. Keep my chest rotating, extend my arms. On this one, because the swing length, you're going to see that little bit of fold of the elbow in the backswing. But I want you to focus on that extension of my arms on the way through. It's really helping me keep that loft on the club face. I'm not driving my handle forwards. So, turn the chest, stretch the arms. Not amazing direction. I need to think about my aim a little bit more, but very happy with the ball flight, very happy with the contact. Look how short that finish position, and look where that loft is pointing. More back towards me. I'm not in this position with my arms or driving my handle forwards. It can be such a simple shot, and it can transform your game. I see just tons of golfers throwing away shots around the green, and this is such an easy part to practice. You can just do it in your back garden. It doesn't take a lot. Give it a go. If the video does help, make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this,